Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of the Wisdom episodes. I'd like to talk about time and clocks and calendars. Yeah, like money, time doesn't exist really. The only time that exists is like now. Now. I'm making this video now and you're watching it now. So there's some kind of now time connection in timelessness. But we do have, clocks and calendars. Calendars really mark the solar year. For example, the rotation of the Earth around the Sun, or the rotation of the Sun on its axis, or the Moon going around the Earth, or different planets making up various constellations. So the time, in that sense, is only really definable by space. Where the Sun is in space defines the time. I know this is a natural rhythm. As you see, time doesn't really exist, so we need to use space to define time. The same as a clock. I mean, clocks have been invented, thousands of years ago, but they were really refined and made accurate in order to navigate on the sea, so that you could find out the longitude of where you are, and you could find the latitude, and then you could navigate at sea using like a clock, which basically measures in 24 hours the rotation of the Earth. So you see, it's more of a place device, than a time device. Then we've got calendars, various calendars based off natural rhythms, like the sun, like the day of the turning of the Earth. The calendar we most commonly use is called the Gregorian calendar, and it was last revised in the late 1500s. And it's an old Roman calendar from before 60 AD or something. And so this date 2012, the last day of the Earth, or the beginning, or whatever, this famous date 2012, it's Pope Gregory's invention, really. There's the Maya calendar, which is really where the 2012 legend, or the 2012 calculation comes from, because the Maya calendar comes to an end when the Gregorian calendar meets 2012. So either Pope Gregory knew about the Maya calendar and wanted to have the number 2012 coincide with the Maya calendar, because 2012 says something, it has some kind of symbolic meaning. And Pope Gregory's calendar, or the Gregorian calendar, is also called the civilian calendar, or the civil calendar, and it's a de facto calendar that's been used just in general now, that everybody uses this calendar or this time system really for administrative procedures, for agreements. So if we agree to meet in the park on Friday afternoon, the 27th of August at 12 o'clock, that's a time-based agreement, so that we'll both be in the same place at the right time. And it's somewhat based off natural rhythms, but not completely. Okay, 24 hours is going to be a day, and a year is a year. But a Gregorian week is 7 days. And from what my research has been done, the older weeks have been 8 days. Now the Maya week, or the Maya cycle, is 4 days. It's got a 4-day cycle, and it ties in perfectly with our earth, wind, water and fire, north, south, east, west, heart, mind, body, spirit thing. So you've got these 4 days 4-day cycles, which is day 1 might be good for working on heavy duty things, day 2 might be good for thinking, day 3 might be good for communication, and day 4 might be good for resting. And so that natural rhythm is much better with the 4-day cycle. So if you've got a 7-day cycle, and you're forced to rest every Sunday, then a true day of natural rest would maybe then end up on a Monday or a Tuesday, or so the week is very much confused from energies. So all of these time matrices need to be taken into consideration when perceiving time, because time is none of that. That is just a concept, an agreement. Obviously you can see the changes, and if it's raining, you can postpone your meeting in the park, picnic. But the natural rhythms are really, that's what's important. Life is music, and you have to dance to the rhythm. You can't dance to 60 beats per minute all the time. Music fluctuates, it's fluid. So if you enter a room, it doesn't matter if you entered it on a clock time or on natural time. The time that you're in there is now time, and it's all about timing. Because we've got this mind and we're capable of planning. For example, you can plan a birthday surprise at midnight. You keep that concealed until midnight. But that's timing. That's like having a chord to play or a melody to play that strikes a certain note at a certain point in time, in place, in the song. So timing is a really important thing to perceive differently. The same as money, to realise that it's a fictional thing and a natural thing, and to understand the differences. If you get my gist, there's big pitfalls by using the Gregorian calendar. There's big pitfalls to actually dogmatically following any kind of time matrix structure. We're not naturally built to all go to sleep at night, for example. Some people are fire keepers. They are more awake at night than in the day, and they're there to keep the fires burning. Even in a modern society, and as we've developed, we've still got these natural instincts, these survival mechanisms that we're still connected to the nature. We still drink water and use fire, even though we don't see it. So yeah, I've talked for long enough and wasted enough time. That doesn't exist, so don't worry about wasting time either. Alright, yeah, have I said everything? I've said everything. Yeah. When I'm in a room and I'm not sure whether I should go or stay, I ask my knees, or it's an interesting thing. You should maybe just check it out. Just ask your knees, should I go? My knees and my legs sort of like, yeah, we'll go, walk. So I'm off. See you later.